What's up guys, it's Widgeon TV here. Between the high rises of Watoga, we find the entrance of the Watoga Municipal Center, the tallest building in the town other than the AMS radio tower. Inside we find a small reception space, and we hear an announcement over the intercom.
Watauga's Municipal Center welcomes you to the future of democracy. Our automated staff would be happy to assist you today. Citizens, you have arrived at the next generation of people-first politics. Through automation, we have made civic responsibility a thing of the past. Hi there, citizen. Welcome to the city center of Watoga, where we provide worry-free government through the power of automation.
An automated government, huh? Let's see how that turns out. Behind the desk, we can find an elevator. Up a few levels, we can enter the Watoga government offices. Behind a half wall, we can find a fairly high-level Scorched who inhabit this building. After clearing a few of them, we find a note next to a terminal. I'm sick of waiting. I'm writing down my complaint instead. Hope these robots can read. My complaint is that there is no waste baskets in this building. None. Well, I genuinely hope the robot saw this note and she got her waste baskets. Next to the note, we find a terminal. Welcome, citizen. Watauga's automated civil services have reduced much of the need for government. However, rest assured that a human being is at the helm. Watauga's mayor is one of you, a resident of your city who is given sweeping executive authority to settle issues that our dutiful robot helpers just can't. Issue complaint. Our automated system has been alerted, and a civil servant will be dispatched to hear your complaint. Current wait time is 9,999 days. See Mayor. Our automated system has been alerted, and a civil servant will be dispatched to schedule an appointment with your mayor. Current wait time is 9,999 days. Alright, I did the math. A robot will come and help us in 9,999 days, which would be about 27 years. Might as well take a seat while we're waiting. Yeah, I guess we have some time to explore while we wait. So it sounds like robots are in charge of everyday operations here in the Watoga government offices. It also seems like citizens were picked at random with no regard for government experience, or checking people's backgrounds. I'm not surprised the town is now controlled by the murderbots. Up on the second level, we find more Scorched and another terminal. Term limit complaint. How can I help you, sir? Yeah, hi, when is the mayor's term limit up? I'm afraid I can't tell you that, sir. The term limits are predetermined randomly. Okay, well, then when is it my turn to be mayor? I'm afraid I can't tell you that either, sir. The mayor is also predetermined randomly, but I get a turn, right? The odds of statistical probability give you a good chance, sir. Executive order complaint. How can I help you, sir? Have you seen the latest executive order? No rock and roll music allowed? I'm a musician. How am I supposed to work? I believe the current mayor prefers classical music, perhaps Chopin? I'm supposed to play a concert at the Civic Center on Sunday, a rock and roll concert. I can't go up there and play Chopin. I'm sorry to hear that, sir, but the executive order is quite clear. No rock and roll music. Robotic staff complaint. How can I help you, ma'am? I want to speak to a person. Ma'am, I'm afraid the mayor is quite busy today. I'm not leaving until I speak to a person. Ma'am, I'm fully equipped to handle over 10 million varieties of civil services complaints. Surely I can. I want to talk to a person, damn it. Ma'am, please, you're disturbing the other residents. Now I must insist that you come back at another time. From this terminal, we move further upstairs into what looks like a courtroom. Of course, Jangles the Moon Monkey is in attendance. Above this room, we find another door, a door that leads to a separate part of the building. On the other side, we can find a small office with a ton of waste baskets piled on everything. At last, all the baskets. Well, it looks like the government robots came through, and they came through in a big way. There must be 15 wastebaskets in this office. In another office just down the hallway, we find a talking robot called Maya, along with the previous mayor's body.
Congratulations, citizen! By mayoral executive order, all individuals entering this room shall have the office of mayor bestowed upon them. I am your mayoral artificially intelligent assistant. You may call me Maya. I'll be your guide through the transition period and your faithful assistant once you get settled. Allow me to play the outgoing mayor's final message.
Maya, are you still following the executive order about people who walk in here?
Yes.
Pull up the pertinent entries on our situation and the Saboteur on the mayoral terminal for anyone who walks in here to read.
Certainly. Ma'am, sensors indicate you are losing large quantities of blood. Shall I summon a paramedic to assist you?
No! What's wrong with you? No more robots! Maya. Make sure the next mayor hears this.
Of course.
I have failed. Whoever you are mayor of a dead city. Those I couldn't evacuate have perished. There's no one, nothing left. But maybe you're here to rebuild from the ashes. That's a comforting thought. I managed to squirrel away a cache of resources. But before you can live here, you need to figure out how to deal with the robots. It was sabotage. The terminal entries should explain what
Ma'am, are you all right?
I think this is it.
My sincerest apologies. I can't be of more assistance.
It's all right. I hope you don't get too lonely here all by yourself. Goodbye, Maya.
Goodbye, ma'am. It was a pleasure to serve you. You were an excellent mayor.
Well, I certainly tried.
End of recorded message. Being mayor can be a little overwhelming at first, but that's why I'm here, to help you. I've pulled up pertinent files on the mayoral terminal where you should find any urgent or outstanding business.
So it sounds like we have a mystery on our hands. A saboteur, a murdered mayor, and a dead city. From this conversation, we can assume the saboteur was the one who caused all the service and protection robots to become hostile to humans, causing the mayor to issue an evacuation order of the town. On the terminal on the mayor's desk, we can search for more information about the saboteur's location. Read this, high priority. Mayor for a day. It's complete chaos out there. People got too used to robots and computers doing everything for them. People are literally running around on fire out there. I'm doing my best, but really, I'm just a music teacher. I'm not cut out for this. Once everyone is safely out of town, I'm going to try to broker a truce with the saboteur. Rumor is his hideout is somewhere in Bogtown. Might just be prejudiced hearsay, but it's a place to start anyway. Things are getting bad. Every time I leave this office, I'm less certain I'll make it back. But someone has to try to hold things together while we try to get everyone out. And, for whatever reason, fate put me in charge. And as a precaution in case I don't make it back, I've issued an executive order to update the automated mayor selection process to simply accept anyone who enters the room as a mayor for the day. I figure that will make it easiest for whoever might arrive to help. In the long run, that might be problematic, but we need all the help we can get if we're going to even see a long run. As mayor, you should have access to all the files on this machine. If I don't make it, maybe you can find the saboteur's hideout and put a stop to all this. People are going to need a safe place in the coming months when things inevitably fall apart. Watoga is the perfect place, except for the berserk robots. But if we can deal with that, good luck to all of us. Barbara Elizabeth, 134th Mayor of Watoga. This next entry has some pretty interesting information about Maya. To whom it may happily concern, welcome to your new position as Mayor of Watoga. It's time to get to work. You'll never know how long you have until the selection process picks a new mayor. It could be a year from now, it could be tomorrow. Some may find these random term limits frustrating. Most will find them liberating. Because folks don't know how long you'll be in office, you won't be hounded by special interests and corrupt enterprises trying to curry favor with bribes. You can safely assume people are being honest and truthful with you. How lovely. If you want to issue an executive order, declare a state of emergency, or simply talk to someone who understands the heavy burden of governing, speak to Maya, your mayoral artificial intelligence assistant. Tell her what you want and she'll draft the appropriate legislation. She has been programmed full of important incidental information pertinent to the governing of a city. Maya's knowledge database comprises of decades worth of carefully curated news articles, core opinions, and legislator from all 50 states, and even some older data dating back to the Middle Ages. If you have a question or are ever confused about a possible course of action, just ask Maya. that, she'll give you 1 to 3 good answers to choose from. But always remember, you are the mayor, and all the mayoring is your responsibility and yours alone. And remember, because no one in the government is elected, and everyone is appointed with term limits decided by the mayor, each mayor is free to hire and fire at his or her own discretion. Furthermore, the Watoga Constitution clearly grants the mayor's executive orders with the force of law, with one single exception, that no such law be made that curtails that authority. How's that for a feeling of responsibility? What's next? Relax. The day-to-day operations of the city are entirely automated. From the sanitation authority to the chief of security, all the small and big functions of a running city clearly, effectively, and efficiently are all handled by carefully programmed robots. This lets you and your administration focus on things that matter to the citizens. And as a valued and respected Watogan yourself, you know exactly what those things are. By doing away with elections and instead randomly selecting citizens in good standing to serve as mayor, we have made Watoga the most democratic city in the entire world. Everyone has a chance to run things, not just the politicians. Now it's your turn. You are the mayor now. And yes, you can do this. So before we go any further, what do you guys think of this way of governing? On the surface, it doesn't sound that bad. It sounds like Maya is very knowledgeable, and it sounds like most people will get a chance at being mayor at some point, giving a lot of power to the average person. In the next entry, we can kind of see how this starts to go wrong, by taking a look at some of the executive orders that were issued. Most of these executive orders are errors, so we can't really look at them, and the ones that we can look at are mostly just legal jargon. But we can see a few good ones in here, like the Dumb Baby Name Prevention Act, which we could probably use here in 2018, but we can also see some bad ones like the Rock and Roll Abolishment Act that we heard about earlier. Luckily, we can see another executive order that reinstates this. At the bottom of this list, we can find 2 more entries. Suck it, future mayors. Maya, make it so future mayors can't undo the laws I make, okay? Like they are permanent and can't be changed. Sir, I'm not sure that order is possible, since Executive Order 341, signed by a preceding mayor, stipulated precisely the same thing, and Executive Order 342 established that no executive order, law, or ordinance hereforth could be established that prevented the future mayors from curtailing, adjusting, or limiting any previous order, law, or ordinance excepting itself and preceding Executive Order 341. That sucks. Sorry, sir. Well, how about this? Make an executive order that you must pretend not to hear any future mayors who try to change my laws and tell them to suck it. Certainly, sir. So that worked? You won't be able to change any of my laws? Maya? I'm thinking, sir. So did my executive order go through or what? It's a rather complicated question, sir. So what's so complicated about it? Maya? One moment, sir. I'm conducting extensive review of legal and historical precedents, and running fairly complex simulations, okay? Okay, what? Okay, the executive order stands. Hot damn, suck it, future mayors. Alright, so that's probably enough for this computer. Let's go find that saboteur. On approach, we can see that Bogtown is a shantytown of sorts, a mix between temporary shelters and makeshift homes. Inside a barn, we can find an Airstream trailer. Inside the trailer, we can find a holotape labeled Operation Free Watoga lying next to the body of Scott Turner, our saboteur.
It's done. I broke the transmission sequencer so no one will be able to remotely manipulate the machines. I also corrupted the software on the update terminals throughout the facility. The only machine capable of creating updates is now in my office. I've locked my terminal and wrote a little fix to the building's badge access software to prevent any badge other than my own from accessing it. They won't be able to get help from anyone else. Only I will hold the means to their salvation. Soon, they'll come down from their ivory towers and come begging me to make it stop. And when they do, I'll make each and every one of them fill out my resident application fitness report. And then, I'll deny every last one of them. See how they like it. Being judged, being locked out in the cold.
So it sounds like the saboteur was on some sort of power trip. At the end, he made it sound like he was exiled out of Watoga. Alternatively, at the end, he may have been talking about an application that needed to be filled out and accepted in order to live in Watoga. After all, Watoga was an experimental city built by the government and Robco. so it wouldn't surprise me if they were screening people who lived there. And maybe Scott Turner didn't make the cut, even though he worked at Robco. We're gonna have to investigate further to find out more. On Scott Turner's body, we can find 2 notes, one from Jenica and one to Jenica. Scott, what the hell? You were serious? I thought you were just talking shit. How could you do that? All those people. The world is literally ending. We all need to stick together if we're gonna make it. Everyone's hair is falling out. Their eyes are bleeding, or worse. And the only hospital for miles is in Watoga. What have you done? I hope you die. You're a monster. Jenica. This note is the first sign that Scott Turner's sabotaging plans got out of hand a little bit. Here's the second note. If you somehow get this, know how sorry I am. How deeply sorry. I'm a monster. It's true. I did it because I believed in a world where men and women would be equal. I was trying to make that world come true, at least in Watoga. But if there's no people left alive, that's not the equality I meant. How was I supposed to know the bombs were dropping the very next day? But that's no excuse. Even if the world hadn't ended, what I did was wrong. I know that now. I've been stricken with paralysis. I think it's neurological. It happened after a night of ringing in my ears and intense headaches. I can't move my legs, and it's getting harder to breathe, but I wanted to write this. In case you came by to check on me, or murder me, either way it doesn't matter much. I've signed all of our death warrants. I'm truly sorry, Scooter. Oh no, the Saboteur turned the service and protection robots into human killing machines only 1 day before the bombs fell. Can you imagine the chaos of the suddenly hostile robots combined with a nuclear holocaust? It would be a disaster. At the end, the Saboteur alludes that he is dying and can no longer deactivate the robots. Next to his outreached arm, we can find another holotape labeled Last Words.
I don't have much longer. Had I known, I never would have. But it's too late now, isn't it? But maybe I can help you. Listening to this, whoever you are, you can't undo the virus, but you can upload your likeness into a whitelist in the software. Then you at least could live in the city. You just need to get to my office. There's a scanner attached to the
In this holotape, he instructs the player to upload their likeness to the computer system. This means you will no longer be attacked by the robots in Watoga. But it sounds like this won't affect other Appalachians or other players, so it won't necessarily allow Watoga to be any safer for future generations. But it's a good start. So we're off to Scott Turner's workplace at the Robco Research Facility. Just north of the Cranberry Bog, we can find the facility. Inside we find some fairly high-level super mutants, and moving to the upper level, we can find Scott Turner's office. Using his keycard we found on his body, we can enter. Inside, we find 2 skeletons and a terminal. Behind the terminal, we can find the scanner that we heard about in the holotape. Jumping on the terminal, we can quickly upload our likeness to the computer system and move on with the quest. Now, the Robco Research Facility has a ton of great lore in it, and I think I'll make a dedicated video on it sometime in the future. After this, we can head back to Watoga and talk to Maya.
Ah, what have we here? Ma'am, this is a citywide software update for all municipal robots. This needs to be uploaded and broadcast from the uplink tower on the roof. Once you arrive there, I'll guide you through the process over the intercom system. I would call a maintenance crew to do this for you, but as I understand it, they would just murder you.
So now we're headed to the final showdown on the roof. Again, we hear Maya.
Uplink tower from where you are now. You'll need to upload the software update into the terminal at its base. Then, wait for the broadcast and citywide reboot.
At this terminal, we can upload the update, starting a 5-minute timer where you just have to survive. This is pretty challenging if you're not extremely high level, so make sure to come prepared. It spawns high level Mr. Gutsies and Robo-Brains. And when I did it, there was a Scorch Beast flying around blasting the robots. So because I was low on stimpacks at the time, I ended up hiding behind one of these cylinders that spawns the robots. After surviving for 5 minutes, you complete the quest, and are granted several rewards. Obviously, you get a good amount of XP, and a few items. But you are also given the All Rise Super Sledge, which has some pretty cool legendary abilities, and is a very good unique melee weapon. On top of that, when you return to Maya, she grants you access to this safe. It holds 8 to 11 stimpacks, and restocks every time you enter a new server. So I'm guessing this is one of the best places in the game to farm stimpacks. And the final reward of this quest is now when you walk around Watoga, you are no longer harassed by hostile robots. Thank goodness for that. Alright guys, that's all I have on Maya and the Saboteur. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out my small channel. Also, if you've made it this far in the video, I would really appreciate it if you guys consider joining my membership. You get a cool little Mothman or Flatwoods monster icon next to your name when you comment. It goes a long way in supporting my channel, so thank you. Also consider following me on Twitter. It's the best place for me to keep in contact with you guys. But anyway, this has been Widgeon TV. Thanks for watching, guys.